Hey guys, Rochelle here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So today I'm going to be doing the first week of the Finding the Fae. And this is a monthly collaboration. And this is AstariaSen Summer, who is hosting this month's Finding the Fae work. And the first week we are touching on foundations. And this is what it says in the PDF that she printed off, or that she created for this, which can be found in the Amethyst, or I'm sorry, not the Amethyst Ascension, in the spiritual or divination and spirituality group, Facebook group. So it says, to believe in fairies is to step into an enchanted space where the rational mind meets the irrational heart, and all things become possible. The myths and legends about fairy are many and diverse and often contradictory. Only one thing is certain, that nothing is certain. And that was a quote by Brian Froud. So the reading material she has here is Good Fairies, Bad Fairies by Brian Froud. I don't have that, but I do have a few other books that I'll show you. But she says this week is all about building foundations. Where do we start? How do we feel about them right now? What do we already know? Take some time and explore how you define the Fae and maybe what you already believe about them. If you are struggling to really put down on paper anything Fae related, or maybe you just enjoy brain dumps about a topic more, consider writing a 3-minute timer, anything Fae related. Okay. Oh, with a 3-minute timer, anything Fae related that comes to your head, and brain dump on your journal pages until that timer goes off. So, we have questions about, like, what do we feel like, the Fae are, right? So, this is the journal. The first week questions we could also use as a tarot spread. It is a tarot spread, but how can working with the Fae benefit me? What fear of the Fae might I be holding on to? How can I address this fear? What first foundational step can I take? And what aspect of the Fae do I need to understand right now? So I'm going to do that soon. However, I just want to show you right quickly what kind of materials I have. And this is not all of them. I have listened to a couple of books on Audible, but I'm recording with my phone, so I don't remember which ones they are. I don't remember. I'm terrible with names. So Madame Endora's Book of Fortunes actually has a whole little area for, like, the Fae, entering the Fae realm, I think it's called. And I'll show you that right quick. I love this book. It says The Realm of Fairy. And it touches on the origin of the fairies, the Seelie Court, the Unseelie Court, the location of the Realm of Fairy. Elven, Banshee, Banteague, Bogart, Bogey, Brownie, Changeling. It's got a lot of different kinds, like Dryad, Dullaban, Dwarf, Elf, Earl King, Fawn. It's just like a dictionary of the different kinds. Gnome, Goblin, Green Knight, Green Ladies, Filgare. It's an Icelandic one. And it goes on and on. A hag, a grim, a green man, a kelpie, lady of the lake, the she, Linan, she, leprechauns. Anyways, it goes into more, and then it goes into other stuff. But this is a really cool book. It's even got, like, alphabets and stuff in here, like Enochian alphabets. And I got this off of Amazon. Super cool. Another one that I've got, and this is An Introduction to the Hidden World of the Fae, Seeking Fairy by Emily Carding, and art by Ciolo Thompson. So this one has Seeking Fairy, History of Human Fairy Relations, The Road to Fairy, The Sacred Landscape, Honoring the Heart of Fairy, Unlocking Your Gifts, Space and Time. There's exercises in here. It's beautifully illustrated. So there's that. This one is a book by John Matthews. It's called The She, Wisdom from the Celtic Otherworld. This was so friggin' good. And I think that the forward, maybe not, preface. Who's the one that wrote that? I don't remember. But anyways, very good. John Matthews is the one who also did the forward for Tarot of the She in the book in the guidebook for Tarot of the She tarot deck. That book was so good. Ted Andrews, Enchantment of the Fairy Realm. This one has Fairy Elves, Legends, and Myths, The Basics of the Fairy World, The Elemental Kingdom, and on and on and on. Tree spirits, flower fairies, fire spirits, air spirits, nymphs. Talk about the fantastic creatures of the fairy realm, fairy godmothers, and living the magical life. So then, I've got another one. This was Fairy by John T. Cruz, A Guide to the Lore, Magic, and World of the Good Folk. This was a foreword by Morgan Daimler. Yeah. Hopefully they're done. So this one is Chapter 1, Meeting the Good Folk. Chapter 2, Fairy History and Traditions. Chapter 3, A Fairy Primer. Identifying Fairies, Fairy Favored, Spaces, Fairy Time, Fairy Society, Fairy Culture, Friendly Contacts with Fairies, Dangerous Contacts, Harm Done by Fairies, Dangerous Contacts, Fairy Abductions, Fairy Magic and Fairy Healing, Elves and Fairies Yet. Very cool. And then this last one is Fairy Craft. Weaving Connections with the Enchanted Realm. I have not personally read this book yet, but I do know that Summer also did like several videos. She went through this whole thing early on, several years ago on her channel. So I think it was really good. I couldn't tell you. She's got Chapter 1, Knowledge, Connections, Trust, Honor, Magic, Joy, Inspiration, Balance, yada, yada, yada. Okay? So those were some of the resources that I have. I want to tell you, for me, the very first goddess or deity that I was ever called by or attracted to that was such a strong pull, it was Danu. And she is still on my goddess altar. She is like the main goddess on my goddess altar. And she is the mother of the Tuatha Dé Danann. Some might call it looks like Tuatha Dé Danann, but it's Tuatha. And I did also a video, which I will link somewhere, like in the cards or whatever. I did this video like 5 years ago, because I believe that there is a connection between the she or the Fae that I think of as Fae, with the Anunnaki and the Ijiji. And it said that they came over on like flying ships. So I did a whole video on it. I'm not going to go into it. I did really well on that video, so I'll point you over to that. But I think it's really friggin' cool. And my journey with the Fae started probably about, I don't know, 6 years ago when I got my first, when I got the statue and started learning about the Fae and all that. And Danu and the Tuatha Dé Danann and the she So anyways, I'm going to do this spread really quick, and the deck that I'm going to use with it is, because when I think of the Fae, I don't think of, not that they don't exist, it's just I'm not concerned with working necessarily with like little sprites and brownies and stuff like that. It's more like the she for me, you know, like the warriors, like the high Fae. And I've also had some dreams and some interactions with the Fae. And one of my dreams, which let me tell you that really quick. This one's going to be a little bit longer, guys. I'm sorry, and there's been more dreams, but this particular dream started off by seeing like a fellow member of like a Fae family, a high Fae family, or a royal Fae family, and they had called me, and they had said that another like form of Fae had gotten their like tomes, their magical tomes, because in this particular dream there was like, I don't know, maybe 12 families or maybe 7. I can't remember how many, maybe it was 7 families that were like considered royalty, and among those 7 there were tomes that were spread with like, that held like the fairy magic in them, and it was spread throughout all of the different families. So the different families each had tomes. Well, my family had 2, and I was the matriarch of that particular family. And in my dream, this person had called me, and I think they were like a cousin or a sister or something, and they had said that they had gotten the magic. That they had gotten the tome or tomes. I can't remember what she had said, but it showed her then starting to age like really, really quickly. And because once the other ones had the tomes, then the magic that had been keeping us young for centuries, we no longer could channel that because we no longer had the books, right? The tomes. So the next part we go to, I was in my family home, and it's like a huge like castle or mansion or whatever, I don't know, but there was this classroom, and I was just outside of the classroom, and I taught because I was the matriarch of our family. And so I had access to the 2 tomes that were gifted to our family line. And our magic and our ability to stay younger for much longer was held within those tomes. So anyways, I guess I could show you this while I'm doing it. So anyways, as I am talking to this guy, he was a young man, he was dark-skinned, and he said he was interested in my daughter. But I knew something was up. I leaned in and I told him, and this is all in my dream. I leaned in and I told him, I said, I know who you are and I can see you. I really see the real you. So then the like facade came off, and he revealed his true self. And he was a dark-skinned, like, 7 foot, 8 foot, like Fae being. And he was not pale skin like this. He was like African American, or dark skinned, okay? And he had like huge spread of wings, maybe like, I don't know, 9 feet wide. They were black wings. He like hovered over me. He was so massive. I mean, even his like shoulders and everything, he was just like, he was big. He was like giant. And he had like hooves, like goat's hooves. He had horns, and he also had like, Jason Momoa, how he's got that scar on his eyebrow. Well, he had a scar on his eyebrow. He was really good looking, but you could tell he was older too. And when he showed himself to me, then he like put his forehead to my forehead and showed me what was coming. And it was a great war between different factions of the elves or the Fae. And that he had been sent to help protect my family and help protect magic itself. And we walked into the like classroom where I taught, and I didn't even realize that I had done it, but I grabbed one of the tomes and I was holding it in my hands, and then all of a sudden I realized it's not in my hands anymore. He had got it, and he couldn't have access to it because they were like cloaked unless I was holding it or somebody else was holding it. It was magically protected. Nobody could find it unless it was being held and being like opened or whatever, used. So he took it. But I knew that he was trying to protect my family and trying to protect magic. I mean, he had showed me like this field of like major battle, right? And so I gave him the other tome, knowing that if it got into the wrong hands, that my family, our line was gone. And something was said also about Seelie and Unseelie, and I think he said that they were Unseelie. So I think that I was Dark Fae. I was like Dark Fae royalty or something. I don't know. It was wild. But anyways, that's just one of the many dreams that I've had that has to do with like the Fae realm and fairy and high Fae and being protected by like dark-skinned Fae creatures or beings, which I believe are like hybrid. Some people say fallen angels. I say Nephilim, or like the Anunnaki and their offspring, shapeshifters, you know, dragons, dragon line. There's a whole lot more that I could talk about as far as that goes, but anyways. So, how can working with the Fae benefit me? 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 How can the Fae benefit me? How can working with the Fae? Okay, there we go. 8 of Cups. Oh. Oh. Wow. That's interesting. Okay. What fear of the Fae might I be holding on to? What fear of the Fae? There we go. Oh, 8 of Swords. Wowza. My goodness. How can I address this fear? 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 Interesting. What first foundational step can I take? What first foundational step can I take? First foundational step can I take? Oh. Nine of Pentacles and Temperance. Ooh. And what aspect of the Fae do I need to understand right now? What aspect of the Fae do I need to understand right now? What aspect? Come on. My goodness. Come on. Okay, let's try something else. We're going to use the Fae Whispers. Which, by the way, just to let everybody know, I was rudely, actually, I discovered that there were 3 legs on the Fae Friendship card. because it was a very rude comment that was left under Summer's walkthrough of this. I never even realized that there were 3. Yes, this is an AI created deck. Even the first time when she brought it to my attention, I was like, oh, at first it kind of looked like it was fluttering, like the actual fairy was fluttering. You know, like their wings flutter and they like shift in and out of existence, right? So that's what it looked like it's a motion kind of thing. Like, that's the first thing that I thought. Then I thought, you know what, with it being a friendship, let's say that this Fae was actually having pain in her leg, so the other Fae took her pain for the day because she loves her friend. Okay, but honestly, I am keeping a version of this available on my Make Playing cards if you want to get any of these with the 3 legs and use that story as, you know, really kind of being there for your friends, right? But I have discounted them. I have made a correction. I'm still waiting on the cards to arrive. They were supposed to arrive today. I still haven't seen it, so we'll see. But with only having 2 legs there. So it has been corrected. So if you would like a new card sent to you, send me an email. My email is down below. But send me an email if you've purchased this deck. And just let me know whether or not you purchased the Superior Smooth, because I've got cards coming for that, and because I've sold quite a few of these decks. But I don't ever have access to that information. I don't know who purchases them. So I'm just, you know, trying to make it best, you know, make it better for whoever I can. Or if it's linen, and with your address so that I can just send you out a card with the new card in it. Okay? But anyways, if you don't mind that it's got 3 legs and the story of it either fluttering or being a shapeshifter or taking on that for the fairy friend for the day, then I have also offered it discounted. And I've got another card in here. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. So what aspect of the Fae do I need to understand right now? What aspect of the Fae do I need to understand right now? What aspect of the Fae do I need to understand? Oh, and there is a version of these that is for sale now with all the corrected 2 legs instead of 3. 1 card, please. What aspect of the Fae do I need to? Okay. Pixie Dust. We'll do that one. Yeah. Add a touch of magic. Let your dreams take flight. How interesting when I just got done telling you about my dreams. Or one of my dreams. There's been several. And the dreams that Courtney's had about, like, protecting me on a Fae realm. I do believe in my dreams I have definitely visited many different realms, including the Fae realm. So let's see what the rest of it is. So how can working with the Fae benefit me? I've got 8 of Cups and the Devil. So for me, that's like walking away from the heavy shadow work that I've been doing, right? Every month, it seems like all the work that we've been doing, whether it's the self-love, whether it's the ancestry, whether it's the past life work, whether or not it is the feminine empowerment, whether or not it's the Seasons of the Witch, it's all been heavy, heavy work. And working with the Fae, because I see this as the shadow work card. So for me, it is a month of reprieve, a month of being able to adventure in other areas instead of being so strapped down by even more introspection and just like heavy work. Not that I'm not here for it. I always want to, you know, do more introspection and stuff, but sometimes we need little breaks. So that's what I feel like this is. So, the second one, what fear of the Fae might I be holding on to? Yes. This is funny, but there is no way you would catch me walking into a Fae circle. No, I'm not going to do that. And the funny thing is, I should have taken pictures, but my mom's house, she's got like in the front of her place, it's like a whole ring. It's like her house is in the middle of a damn fairy circle. I mean, she's literally got it, and it's like in a circle from her front porch. So a little garden on the side and the other garden on the other side. She's got mushrooms like that, big, like mushrooms like this, like clusters of mushrooms. The last time I was there, I was like, do you see that, Mom? So getting trapped into a Fae realm. I don't want to get trapped in a Fae realm. So there's no way I would walk into a fairy circle. Nope, not going to do it. Mushroom circle. Fae ring. Yes, fairy ring. 3. How can I address this fear? It's almost like planning the trip, you know? It's like if you do it, if you're in a controlled situation and you want to adventure into that realm, you can do it in a different way. So you have to plan and then take action upon that plan, right? So that's what I see there. What first foundational step can I take? And I got these two. 9 of Pentacles and Temperance. Yes. Be happy in my life. Be find the right kind of alchemy. Temperance is like all about alchemy, right? So the balance between like certain things, opposing elements. So become as balanced as I can in my own approach and in my life, and then try contacting the Fae rather than being from a fear state, right? So what aspect, although I don't really think that I fear the Fae, but you never know, right? There might be deep down, I mean, I'm definitely not going off into a fairy ring, so you never know. What aspect of the Fae do I need to understand right now? Believe what my dreams are showing me. I believe that that's what it is. And to just allow the magic to take me on an adventure. You know, be willing to opening up myself to see, right? Allow even the fanciful stuff, not just like the you know, she warriors. It's okay to, you know, look at for the fun stuff, which I have more stuff to show you guys that I've already started. Little fairy garden, but that'll come later on and I'll show you guys. But so there we go. That's what I got for my first week, and this is going to be a fun little ride. I'm excited about doing this work and just having fun with it. So I will definitely put a link over to Summer's video. Please go and check it out. Her first week's foundational video. And thank you for spending this time with me. And I'm sending you love always.